Hi, this recording is to get you started on your Wheel of Theodorus project. That goes right along with the chapter and Pythagorean theorem that we've been studying. So before you begin, you need to be sure that you have a poster paper, a piece of notebook paper, a note card, and a ruler. So pause the video if you need to go get those things, okay? The first thing that we need to do is pick a corner that we're going to use on our note card. So I'm going to choose this to be my corner. I'm going to make a 1-inch mark here. Just need to make a little mark, and you need to pay attention to your ruler. Some rulers start measuring right at the very end of the ruler, and some have a little space before they start measuring. Mine has a little space, so be careful that you pay attention to that. And I'm also going to make my 1-inch mark going this way as well. Okay, we'll be using this 90-degree angle here on this note card over and over and over again, and these 1-inch marks will be handy too. Okay, go to your poster board, and in the middle of your poster board, I'm going to turn mine sideways just so that I can get it in the middle and show it on camera. But somewhere in the middle of your poster, you want to get it kind of close. You're going to make this trace, this corner, this 90-degree corner. This Wheel of Theodorus project came from a guy that was one of Pythagoras' followers. So way back in those BC dates that we were discussing in class. Okay, so here I've made a 90-degree angle. This is a 1-inch leg and a 1-inch leg, but I do not know how long this hypotenuse is. I'm going to go ahead and draw it in here. We're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to figure out how long this hypotenuse is. So you're going to go to your notebook paper now. I'm going to put Wheel of Theodorus. And this is Mrs. Michaela's. Triangle number 1. Okay. One of my legs was 1 inch. 1 leg squared plus the other leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. 1 times 1 is 1, plus 1 times 1 is 1, equals c squared. 1 plus 1 is 2, equals the hypotenuse squared. To undo a variable that's squared, we have to find the square root. Find the square root. So c must be the square root of 2. For this project, we're going to leave our numbers written with a radical. We're not going to use decimal answers. So now I'll go back to my poster and I'm going to write that this is the square root of 2 units long. Square root of 2 is actually square root of 2 inches long. Okay, once you have that one done, now we're going to use this hypotenuse as the leg of my new triangle. I'm going to line my note card up here like so. My note card lines right up with that hypotenuse. And then I'm going to trace in this leg. That's a 1-inch leg. So every time I draw in a new leg, it's going to be 1 inch. I'm going to mark my right angle. So this hypotenuse is now a leg, and this is my other leg. And I'm going to draw in this new hypotenuse of this triangle. And now I don't know how long that one is. So now I go back to my notebook paper. And so for triangle number 2, one of the legs is 1. The other leg is the square root of 2. Leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. 1 squared is 1. The square root of 2 squared is 2. And that equals c squared. So 3 equals c squared. To undo a variable that's squared, we're going to find the square root. So c must be the square root of 3. So now I go back to my poster and I can label that as the square root of 3. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you and then you are on your own. I'm ready for my new triangle. So I put my note card, I line it up. I'm I'm sure to draw in this 90-degree angle to my 1-inch mark. Okay, there's my 90-degree angle. There's my 1-inch leg. I'm going to draw in my hypotenuse. There we go. Okay, now I'm ready to figure out how long this hypotenuse is. So I go third triangle. One leg is 1. The other leg is the square root of 3 equals c squared. 1 squared is 1. Square root of 3 squared is 3. And that equals c squared. 1 plus 3 is 4. And that equals c squared. To undo a variable that's squared, we're going to find the square root. Find the square root. The square root of 4 actually is a nice number. That is 2. And we're in inches. So I bet if I measure this line, I bet I'm at 2 inches long. Let's see. Ah, perfect. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to put that on here as the square root of 4, which is 2 inches. Okay. All right, now I'm going to continue. So now I'll be ready to put my note card back up here. Drawing my next leg. This is my 90-degree angle. This is my 1-inch leg. I'm going to draw in my hypotenuse. And then I'm going to go back to my notebook paper to figure out how long that next hypotenuse is. I have a rubric of my requirements for this project that you'll need to look at. So be sure that you read that rubric, but you'll need to continue on the rubric. You will need to show your work on this notebook paper for the first 10 triangles. So continue to do that. For the project, you will need to make at least 30 triangles, and you will need to label all of them, but you only need to show your work on here for the first 10. Okay, well, good luck, and I'll be available if you need assistance.